Welcome back, everybody. If you're new to my channel, I am a content creator who reacts to different content creators, whether it be basketball, NBA shit, different NBA creators, or just the current news that's going on in NBA, or brain rot, TikTok, YouTube shit, people looking for clout, whatever the case may be, or just shit to numb your mind and laugh to. So if you like someone who can make you laugh and someone who can give you good insight, I suggest giving me a like, comment, subscribe. If you got anything you want me to react to, go ahead and put it in the comment sections, and we can go ahead and react to it, especially on my live. I start going live now when creating content, so if you guys want to join me live while I'm doing that, I appreciate it. So today, we're going to be reacting to Club Shay Shay, first ever LeBron versus Jordan debate with Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe. So let's go ahead and turn this up. We're going to put this at 1.25 speed, and let's start.
You know you love yourself some LeBron James.
Yeah. You know what's going to happen. He to go. He to go.
He's not.
Say it with me.
He's not.
He to go.
He's not. I just got the phone with MJ last night. Just to remind him.
You should have hung up on it.
I hung up on that.
Yeah. Say it go.
The blasphemy coming out of your mouth right now. Okay. It's okay. You can believe that. You can believe that.
Man, still going to wrong 20. But we'll do. I'm sure. You know what?
Right.
The first LeBron topic don't need to be nobody.
Here's what
don't need to be nobody else.
Here's what's going to hurt you. Here's what's going to hurt you. Because you see, when you talking like that, people are like, but shit, that. No. I'm going to sit back and let you talk. And then I'm going to say, you finished? Are you finished? You sure?
No.
And then you're going to be like, nah. And I'm going to say, you got to wait now, because I waited. Here I come. And you have to deal with the tsunami that I'm going to bring. I'm going to rain down upon you when it comes, especially to that subject. Especially to that subject. And that's where you're going to have to listen, LeBron, listen, I got this man. The game was started in 1947. I got LeBron James, the thousands of players that have played in the NBA. I got him number 2 all time.
Yeah.
You got people walking around like that's disrespect.
It is.
I got him. See, that's emotion. That's emotion right there. Listen, let me tell you something right now.
Personally, me speaking, if you have LeBron James number 2, if you have LeBron James number 5, that's a bit of a stretch, but I'm not angry if you have LeBron James in your top 5. Where I'll get angry, right? And I've talked about this before on my past videos. When I get angry is when you have people, right, that will sit there and tell you, you know, LeBron James to me, number 2. And you'll be like, oh, that's reasonable. So you have Jordan 1 and LeBron 2. What? I thought it was obvious. I said number 2. It's like, yeah, number 2 all time. Bro. I mean number 2, 102. And it's like, what? What do you mean 102? Really, dog? So yeah, when it comes down to like LeBron being top 5, I'm not hating against it. I just hate against people who have LeBron like in a ridiculous range that just cannot be fucking defended. Because even LeBron's biggest hater, not Stephen A. Stephen A. has him number 2. I'm not saying he's the biggest. LeBron's biggest hater is, I forgot his name, Skip Bayless. Holy fuck, I forgot his name. Skip Bayless is LeBron's biggest hater, but Skip Bayless even has LeBron number 7 all time. That's Skip Bayless. So Skip Bayless has him number 7 all time. I don't know how the hell anybody has him lower than that. That's the way I view it. It's the Skip Bayless method, okay? Wherever Skip Bayless has LeBron, that is where you should have him at the very least. So if Skip Bayless has LeBron number 7, your ass should have LeBron at the very least number 7 and up. There is no reason he should be lower if someone like Skip Bayless, a man who was judging LeBron on how he plays at the age of 38, has him at number 7 all time. So yeah, I don't hate on people who have LeBron top 5, even top 10. Like I said, a bit of a stretch. The only time I judge is when you have like LeBron as such a ridiculously high number, or I should say low number. It's just unfathomably hate. Like anyone who says LeBron is not top 50, they're haters. I don't know what to say. But yeah, I agree with Stephen A. here. If you want to have him number 2, I don't agree with him being number 2. I think LeBron's the GOAT. Look who's on my wall. But if you have him number 2, I ain't mad about it.
I personally believe a legitimate argument could be made that I'm sitting in front of the greatest tight end in the history of football. Some people bring in Gronk, Tony Gonzalez, other
Travis
players,
Kelce.
whatever, Travis Kelce, of course.
Gates,
But you're in the conversation,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And you know because your brethren, I mean, they give you mad love and respect, right? I can say that. But my point to you is that if somebody said you weren't number one, you don't feel insulted.
No.
So why you got to be insulted about LeBron?
Because.
That's emotion.
No,
that's
they don't.
my point. That's emotion.
But the goal.
Huh?
See,
that's emotion
you
right
told me
there.
the storm was coming.
Right.
See, your storm happened for 9 years, then took 2 years off.
Right.
And it happened for 3 years,
Yep.
and took another 3 years off.
That's right.
And then it kind of just was like drizzling.
Right.
My storm been going for 21 years raining.
Right, you can say that, and my retort to that would be 6 NBA Finals losses.
So they'll hold on.
Just that's 6 final losses.
Yeah.
6 finals losses.
Let me ask you a question.
6.
I just want you to tell me one thing, and we're going to debate this.
Sure.
Tell me the team that he faced that was the 2017 or the 2018 Golden State Warriors.
What do you mean? I don't understand your question.
Michael Jordan. Tell me the team.
You talking about Michael Jordan?
I want you to tell me the team that Michael Jordan faced that was the equivalent of the 17 and 18.
No one. Can I respond to that?
Sure.
Can I say why? No one. Do you know why? Because none of them had Jordan.
No.
That's not. Oh my God. Okay, so I don't like that answer. I want to kind of break down 2 things here. One, I don't like that he brings up like 6 finals losses, because again, when it comes to like the finals losses, what would we have rather have, right? Like we would rather have LeBron be 4-0 in the finals, but get bounced out in the playoffs time after time after time again. Do we not give him credit for going to the finals almost a decade straight with 2 different teams, not 3. He went with Cleveland and he went with Miami. He did go to the finals with the Lakers, but if I'm not mistaken, they didn't go deep in the playoffs. I don't even know if they made the playoffs that year that he went to the Lakers. I don't think they made the playoffs that year. Because the Lakers, by the way, haven't seen the playoffs since 2014-15. 2014-15. About a year before Kobe retired. LeBron gets over there, 2019, and takes them to the finals a year later. But nonetheless, do we want to sit here and say him having a decade of excellence doesn't count because he didn't win a decade worth of titles? Is that what we want to do? I feel like there should be nuance here, because I don't think we view LeBron's career the same if he gets bounced in the playoffs year after year and he wins 4 titles but he's undefeated in the finals. I don't think so. But hey, that's just my opinion. And as far as the competition goes, well, he kind of admitted that the competition was not as good because everyone sees that Bulls team as being a dynasty, and I agree with that. We had Dennis Rodman. We had Horace Grant. They weren't playing at the same time. But when Jordan needed a fucking glass cleaner, who did they get? They got Horace Grant. One of the best glass cleaners in the fucking league of all time. But then when Horace Grant left, who did they get? Dennis Rodman. One of the best glass cleaners of all fucking time. Scottie Pippen, one of the best two-way players of all fucking time. Phil Jackson, one of the best coaches of all fucking time. John Paxson, one of the best three-point percentage shooters of all fucking time. Steve Kerr, one of the best three-point percentage shooters of all fucking time. Like, B.J. Armstrong, great guard. Great team. Just an overall fucking amazing team. Tony Kukoc, one of the best European players of all fucking time. Right? So when we sit here and we talk about LeBron James, and we talk about, the quote-unquote help he has, I will see people post, images, and they'll be like, LeBron James had Carmelo Anthony on his team? Yeah, Carmelo Anthony? Really? How old was Carmelo on that team? LeBron James had Shaquille O'Neal? How old was Shaq on LeBron's team? What was Shaq's numbers? It's just frustrating. And again, he's playing a double. He's doing a double negative because he's saying, well, the competition was as good. But the reason they were better than the Bulls is because they had Jordan. So he's trying to say not only was Jordan's team great, it's only because they have Jordan. The other teams were also great, but if they didn't have Jordan, the Bulls would have definitely lost when we saw that the Bulls nearly made it to the finals when Jordan was retired. They went 7 games with the Knicks, and the Knicks went to the finals in the playoffs, winning 50-some games. But nonetheless, let's keep going.
That's exactly what.
Okay, let me
that's exactly what. See, that's the ultimate equalizer or usurper. Pick whichever one you want to pick. Do you understand that Jordan is 6-0 in NBA Finals?
Yes.
Do you understand that Jordan was MVP all 6 NBA Finals?
Yes.
Do you understand that Jordan never even allowed a final series to go 7 games? You understand that? It never went 7 games.
I also know he didn't start going to finals because Larry Bird back went out.
Excuse me. 10-time NBA scoring champion. 9-time all defensive first team. You do know that, right?
Yeah.
All right, so in other words, it was LeBron on both sides of the ball. Was he that dominant?
Oh, he was the best. You know he should have won it. You know he should have won.
Are you kidding me?
Stephen A.
Are you kidding me?
Stephen A. Give me this.
Okay.
You know good well LeBron James should have 1 defensive player of the year. How does Marc Gasol, who's a second-team all-defensive player, be defensive player of the year?
I agree with that. But the flip.
I do respect Stephen A. Smith for conceding to shit that's just true. Marc Gasol should not have won that defensive player of the year. So I respect Stephen A. Smith for admitting that at the very least. It is fucking crazy. You have a player who was second team all defense, and then you have a player that was first team all defense. That's like, can you imagine? Can you imagine you go to work? Your boss walks up to you, and they go, hey, what's up, guy? And LeBron got the fucking votes for being the best defensive player, but nonetheless, watch this. This is how this shit goes. It's like, hey, come here, Bob. Listen, you have done great. You have done great work for us. We took a vote in the break room. Everyone thinks you're great. Everyone thinks you have just really shown up and showed out. You popped out and showed niggas. That's what you did. As Kendrick would say. You put in effort that's unbelievable. We think you're the best employee here. Everyone thinks it. I even think it. It's like, okay. So we got an Employee of the Month award. It's like, okay. Can you help us give it to Jeff? Didn't you just say, yeah, I know what I said. I said all that, but, you know, you have like one guy that thinks Jeff should get it. So you want to help me give it to Jeff? What? What the fuck? What logic is that? So yeah, I'm glad that Stephen A. is willing to admit, like, that's one of those things where I get, like, oh, Shaq will be like, oh, I deserve multiple MVPs, or, oh, I understand that there's MVP fatigue and shit like that may happen. I get all that. But that's not even this. This is a person who was second team all defense getting a fucking award for defense over a person that was first team all defense. That's what this is, bro. Like, come on now.
Flip side to it is that as we watched LeBron James, even with his greatness at one point in time as a defensive player, we never looked at him and said, oh my God, that's that dude defensively.
Yeah.
Now, LeBron is universally respected and revered. MJ was feared. You know the difference. You know the difference. Because there are people who have feared you. You know the difference better than me. You know the difference between reverence and fear.
Look.
You know this?
You like John Wick? I like James Bond.
He's all right. Hold
John
on.
Bond.
Can I have James Bond? I prefer James Bond. You can be John Wick.
Okay.
I prefer James Bond.
John Wick shot up the whole place, kill everybody.
Okay.
James Bond killed a few people, but got the ladies.
That's
They
right.
do the same thing.
That's right. Remember when Halle Berry was walking out?
What else kept about that water?
Walking out the ocean, and
Yeah.
he said, "Magnificent view." Remember that?
I remember that.
The smoke. And that was that's stuff. It's stuff like Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
But you know, Daniel Craig,
Yeah.
of course, Sean Connery,
yeah.
the man. Okay. I mean, I'm trying to say the versatility of James Bond is where
The versatility of James.
You could say that, but at the
He
end
could
of the
guard 1 through 5. You seen him do it.
I'm not denying that.
Shut down Tony Parker on one end. In the last 5 minutes, say, I got Timmy D.
I also saw him get checked when Jason Terry was guarding him in the post in his finals against Dallas. You going to deny that?
No.
Okay then.
So
let me ask you a question. Has there ever been a time when Michael Jordan showed up in an NBA Finals and you literally looked at him and said, "Yo,
God.
he didn't show up"?
See, that's why. That's such as I can give you a time where Jordan shot what 27% from the, or was it 37? It was 27 to 37% from the field against the Detroit Pistons in a playoff series that they ended up losing. But I guess since I wasn't in the finals, it doesn't count. Come on now, really? That's what I'm saying. Like, what are we doing? It's like, can you give me a time in the finals that Jordan played bad? And it's like, well, it actually matters because if you gotta show up, you gotta pop out and show niggas. But it's like, bro, I can show you times where Jordan stunk the bed in the playoffs, and I'm not holding that against him. I still think he's one of the greatest players of all time. I have a number 2. But it's just kind of ridiculous to be like, oh, let's look at the one finals in 2011 where LeBron did not perform well, and that is true. And therefore, that makes him not the best in my eyes. When it's like, I can show you multiple playoff series that Jordan stuck the bet on, but because they're not in the finals, it doesn't count. You got to win the playoffs to get to the finals. So why isn't it important?
Nobody.
Come on.
Let me ask you a question. I'm going to do it like this here.
Sure.
Tell me the guy that he faced that was the equivalent of Kevin Durant in the NBA Finals.
Michael Jordan. Well, I wouldn't say the equivalent of Kevin Durant, but let's go down the list. He beat Magic for his first title.
Magic was 73.
Okay, I find you. I'm going down the list.
Thank you. It's like, I hate when people just use names without using context. It's the same motherfuckers that be like, look at all the players LeBron played with. He played with Carmelo Anthony. When Carmelo Anthony looks like he was fucking on a bad leg. He played with Shaquille O'Neal, who averaged what? Like not even 10 points per game? Come on, bro. Like just because they're names, it doesn't mean they're great. Age happens. Like, I'm just saying. They deteriorate. That happens. They get older. They get worse. The only player that seems to be not happening to is fucking LeBron James. Fuck. So he's like, he beat Magic. Yes, he beat Magic, but Magic was not old Magic. I mean, he was old Magic. He just didn't play like his old self. Because he was old. Damn.
Okay. I didn't hear you say that when Magic was here, but we'll talk about that.
You know Magic.
You didn't say that when Magic was here.
But here, the man that gone to nine finals in 10 years.
I feel you on that. And by the way, he took Vlade Divac and no doubt.
Yes.
It wasn't Kareem and Worthy and like that.
But you saw what he did to Jordan in the first game, right?
Allow me.
Put a triple-double on it, they had to put Scottie Pippen on it.
That's cool.
Okay, I ain't gonna say he backed him down. Made it look like Kareem and Caldwell Jones. Okay, go ahead.
That's fair. Magic Johnson in the first title. Clyde Drexler and the Crew, the second title. Charles Barkley, Kevin Johnson, don't ignore that. Dan Marley and them, the third. Okay. Yep. Peyton, the glove, with Sean Kemp before he became Sean Kemp.
That's one Hall of Famer.
And then also you got Karl Malone, John Stockton.
Yes.
And you have an NBA game that was considerably tougher at that particular moment in time than today's NBA game is in terms of physicality and what's allowed.
Yes.
So you can appreciate this.
Yes.
You can appreciate that.
But see,
when you can put your forearm on people, when you can hand check them, when you can do a lot of things you can't do now. Right now you get called for passing gas.
True, you will. But
it's a different game now.
But here's the thing, Stephen.
Okay.
What you and the old school guard have equated physicality with talent and skill. The guys in today's game are more skilled.
I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. But you would know this better than me because you were an all-world player. Even though the game of the NFL has evolved significantly, you know good and damn well that if you were playing in this time, you would have adapted.
Yes.
You played in that time, you adapted.
Yes.
The game in the 60s and 70s, you would have adapted to those times. So what I'm trying to say to you is this. Michael Jordan was what he needed to be. If he was playing today, he would be what he needed to be in order to be successful today. That's all I'm trying to say. When you see greatness on that level.
I don't know about that because Michael Jordan shot like 20-some% from the three-point line. Three-point line's been there for a while. And I understand that the three-point line, it adapted over time. And I get you that LeBron shot miserably from the three-point line himself when he came into the league, adapted and got better over time in his career. But Jordan never got better in his career. And you had three-point shooters. Larry Bird existed. John Paxson existed. Like, you had three-point shooters. You had shooters. You had people who shot well. So I just don't know. I mean, the whole shrug, right? Against the Trailblazers, the shrug, right? Why did he shrug? Because he was on fire from three, and he's not known for that. And he even knows he's not good from the three-point line. That's why he fucking shrugged, because he's like, fuck. I didn't think most of those were going to go in. Like, damn. And again, this is not hate to Jordan. I just don't like the assumption, like, we know he would have adapted. Maybe. He's a great player, so I wouldn't put it against him. Probably, maybe. But to just assume, like, it's a guarantee, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
You have to concede that that's the case.
But see, all they asked Michael to do was to cook. LeBron had to cook. He had to clean. He had to wait tables. He had to take orders.
Well, you can say that, but what I'm saying
is
if the brother's doing it on both sides of the floor, then obviously he's doing more than one thing.
He's doing that too. But
why is he doing more than one thing?
How many guys you know that are top five scorers and top five assists?
How about this? How about when Shaquille O'Neal with Penny Hardaway, Nick Anderson, 3D, Dennis Scott, and those boys were in Orlando, right?
Yeah.
How about the fact that they couldn't even get the ball past half court because Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan had them on lock?
Yeah, with Ron Harper.
Full court press. We ain't never seen LeBron do that. We never see LeBron do that.
LeBron do that.
You know, stop it. He never did it.
You remember when
He never did it.
You remember when D Rose was the MVP? Y'all voted D Rose MVP. What did he do to D Rose in the playoffs?
Excuse me. D Rose, what kind of team did he have? You couldn't tell me Joakim Noah and those boys was a disappointing.
They did enough to get the number 1 seed.
So what? So what?
You voted him MVP. That's why I called him. I told him.
I voted him MVP and still picked Miami to win that series. I knew they weren't going to beat Miami in the best of 7. Playoffs are different.
Yeah.
All right, but that don't mean LeBron deserved the MVP. And oh, by the way, I don't even knock LeBron James for not getting the MVP because when you're that great, you're not going to put all your efforts in over 82 games. You're playing for April, May, and June. So this is entirely plausible. I'm very fair to LeBron James. Your dollar back.
Sometimes.
Most times. Actually, I'd say all. It's just that I call it like I see it. I'm not emotional like you.
No, I saw you. I've been doing homework on you. Yeah, you know what? I got a call today from one Michael Jordan. He rolled up on me in a black SUV and rolled the window down.
That's true.
Yeah.
That was scary. I thought he was going to shoot. I thought it was a drive-by. It was a damn. I thought it was a damn drive-by. It scared the living hell out of me. You understand what I'm saying? That's an absolutely true story. But at the end of the day, all I'm trying to say is that LeBron is phenomenal. He's great. We should throw no shade on him. One of the greatest ever. Top 3.
I didn't see you say one of his.
First of all, he will never be greater than Jordan to me. But more importantly, let's go to Kareem. 19-time All-Star, 6-time league MVP, champion on the high school level,
They don't get
Memorial,
credit.
champion
They don't get
UCLA,
credit, though.
champion in the NBA. Okay,
6 times.
Good Lord have mercy.
Six
All-time
MVPs.
leading scorer before LeBron surpassed him. All of that stuff happened. I'm just saying, come on now. The resume is better, but I still don't believe he was the player that LeBron James is.
Yeah.
All right, but what I hold, and I'll say this to you, I'll tell you something that I very rarely said. If you took LeBron James' career from 2012 to now, and that was his history, from his first title to what he is now, and you wanted to make an argument against Jordan, I'm listening. The problem is we don't get to ignore those first 7 or 8 years where there were a couple of occasions where one, he was accused of quitting, and I don't believe that, by the way. I don't believe
they
that.
accused Noah of drunkenness.
No. I'm talking about this.
God still gave him the arm.
I got you, but I feel you. But it's true, but it's still accused of drunkenness.
Why do we have to take away, why are we taking away the games? Why are we taking away the years? And saying, if you took away the first 7 years, then he is better than Jordan? Why? If anything, it shows triumph. It shows that a player failed, fall down, and was able to get back up. You have some players fail, right? You have some players that fail and never get back up. They're forever a failure. But LeBron was able to fall down, fail, get back up, and be successful. Man, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing? Let's continue.
But the point is, no, against Boston. I don't believe that. It was a lot of stuff going on with LeBron that's none of our business, that they were totally unfair to him, including his damn teammates. But that's a different story for another day. I never held that against him.
Right.
But when you got 4 games against the Dallas Mavericks in which people looked at you and said, choke.
If you say that, you know what?
You cannot get past that.
I can't argue out that one. I can't argue out that one.
That to me, sealed the deal about the MJ LeBron comparison.
So what if he were to win a title this year?
Don't matter.
At 39 years of age.
That's crazy. The only way Jordan fans can make Jordan to go over LeBron is to focus on LeBron's negatives. Honestly, like it's kind of fucked because it's like, look, a player has negatives. Shit can happen. But I can show you. Imagine this. Take LeBron James out of it. Imagine if I told you a story. This sounds like a fucking children's book, dog. I told you a story. I said, hey, imagine a basketball player that gets drafted in 2003. And that basketball player went on to play for a franchise who had the second best player on his team. The second best player on his team averaged 15 points per game at the age of 22 in the NBA Finals, and his second best player wasn't available for half of that finals series. They ended up losing at the age of 22, and then he went on, right, to go to the finals again. He broke down. He did not play as well as he should have played. The Mavericks team that he faced, we can say that they ran certain sets on him. We can say that they ran certain defensive schemes, but at the end of the day, he should have played better. He didn't play as well as he should have played. He ended up losing again. That same player went on to go to the finals 9 straight times. And not only that, he won 2 championships in a row, won another one with a different franchise, and won another one with a different franchise after that. And right now, at the age of 40 in 2025, he is being talked about like he should go deep in the playoffs when they have no interior defense. I don't think the Lakers can go to the finals this year. But when you have Luka and LeBron, because I know that everybody was saying that Kyrie and Luka couldn't do much, but they went to the finals. But that's besides the point. But you have him at the age of 40 balling out so good that they are talking about him like he needs to get to the finals. On a Lakers team that probably just doesn't have enough defense to get there. Like, if I took that and told you that and didn't say LeBron James, you think this guy is a fucking success story. You'd be like, holy shit, what? He was able to fail, grow, get better, and become one of the greatest players I've ever heard of in my life. So yeah, I'm just saying the hyper fixation on focusing on his failures when a man's failures will show you what he does afterwards. I don't know what to tell you. Like, honestly speaking, let me give Jordan a final loss. Do we think Jordan three-peats again if he just gets that final loss? Because we know if Jordan didn't retire, that Knicks team was still good as shit. Right? So let's say Jordan doesn't retire and they don't end up winning the finals, but let's say they get to the finals. I still think they can get to the finals past the Knicks. But I'm telling you right now, doggy, that Houston Rocket team with Akeem, I'm sorry. They would have beaten the Bulls. I guarantee it. So, Jordan gets his first loss, okay? Let's say nothing changed. The only thing we changed is that Jordan doesn't retire. He plays on the Bulls, and Jordan gets his first loss. Do we honestly feel that he would three-peat again? Like, losing in the finals can do something to your mental, but he was still able to win 4 championships. So, I'm sorry. I don't like the hyper fixation on his losses and acting like him not getting to the finals in the first place with subpar talent on his team doesn't count when it should. But let's keep going.
So that don't erase Jordan.
And I'm not talking about the Miami Heat. I know that was a super team. But some of y'all like to act like that fucking 2007-8 Cleveland Cavalier team was something to be revered. Second best player on his team, averaging 14 points per game, and wasn't even there for half the fucking final series.
See, there you go. See, that's the argument that people have when I was talking about Tom Brady not playing well. I'm not trying to take away what Jordan's accomplished.
I agree.
He got those rings. Right. He got 6 finals MVPs.
Right.
He has 6 championships. He has 5 regular season MVPs.
Correct.
If LeBron gets another title, Stephen A., I'm not going to erase what Jordan did, but he already here for me.
Okay.
All he doing is just...
But what I'm saying to you is I already talked about the Dallas thing.
Yeah.
And I talked about moments, which you can appreciate. What I'm trying to say to you is that when you are that dude,
right,
that doesn't happen to you often. That happened to Magic when they called him tragic.
Yeah, 84.
Dennis Johnson, 84 and all that. We get all of that. You understand what I'm saying? But for the most part, that doesn't happen. And this is the kind of thing that you also have to pay attention to as well. Not only do you not get to say that about Jordan, but when you look at LeBron, think about this. You want me to tell you what I hold against him just as much as I held against the Dallas performance?
What?
The following year with the All-Star game. You got the ball in your hands. It's an exhibition.
Oh,
it's an exhibition. It doesn't count.
Right.
It's all in fun.
Right.
Kobe claps his hand, God rest his soul.
So
and he's like, yo, let's come on with it. You got D-Wade on the court. You got Melo in the corner.
Yeah.
And he threw the pass. And all 3 of them, along with Kobe, descended on LeBron and said, yo, what's up? What you doing? Because they knew he was psyched out. He was messed up. And what I'm saying to you is that Kobe wasn't like that. MJ wasn't like that. D-Wade wasn't like that. In his first NBA Finals appearance, they down 0-2 to Dallas. D-Wade goes berserk, averages 37 in the last 4 games. I'm just saying it's stuff like that. It's not that you look at LeBron and you diminish him. It's just that you can't elevate him above somebody like MJ when I got that evidence to support my argument. That's all. And that's why I got him number 2 all-time. God strike me down. I mean, my Lord, what an insult. The number 2 all-time in the history of the game, and it's an insult. Only you and Rich Paul and people like that feel that way. Most of us sane individuals know better. No.
Right. So, by the way, LeBron could not handle the mental strain, you know? He was a superstar that just got psyched out. He got psyched out. He always got psyched out. You know, that's why LeBron could never be number 1. By the way, what happened in 2016? Oh, yeah, no team ever came back in the finals down 3-1. What happened the following games? 40 points, damn near triple-double. 3 games in a row, 40 points. That's crazy. But yeah, LeBron is a guy that, you know, he gets psyched out. He can't handle the pressure. God. What? They feel insulted. Okay, so sorry, I paused real quick. I'm gonna stop recording.